Hello, everybody. I just wanted to talk to you guys about the ego. The ego is a very demonized term in spirituality, in the world that we live in. If you're a part of a lot of spiritual-minded people and groups, you're often going to hear the ego is bad. It's self-centered. It only wants for itself. Uh, some of you might have even heard of people experiencing what they call ego death. Okay, the ego death is definitely a real thing. There are paths and enlightenment protocols that can simulate what we would call an ego death. But the thing that we all have to understand about our ego is that it's not the bad guy. Okay? The ego is there to ensure your sustainability, uh, your ability to survive, exist, and live in this world. We all must have an ego in order to just be involved in the world. So one of the things I wanna, I don't know who this message is for. Someone probably trying to kill their ego. I'm assuming that might be uh, resonate with somebody. I don't know why or who this message is for, but I know I've been through several ego deaths upon my own drug usage. Were the main times that I've experienced ego death. More psychedelics or marijuana. These can give you an ego death experience. But I really want you to understand that we are our ego. We, as much as we want to say that it's the worst parts of us, it's the selfish, the self-centeredness. It's all the bad things. A lot of the time, people want to blame their ego for anything they do wrong, or anything that they see as not on the path to spirituality. They're gonna say, "Oh, the ego is controlling you, or it's trying to get you wrapped up in materialism." But really, I want you all to take a second look at this, what we call ego, and understand that the ego is a part of us. And when it comes down to the base and trueness of who we are our ego completely. And whether it's involved in spiritual enlightenment, whether it's involved in materialism, whether it's involved in a sense of disconnectedness, or any kind of issues that might arise on our spiritual or just our life path. Our ego is not something that you want to push to the side and say, this is wrong, this is not me. No, you want to integrate with your ego, and you want to understand your ego and why it's had to create itself in the way it has. And most of the time when we look at this, we'll realize that the ego created itself in order to protect us, and in order to ensure our survivability, in order to protect our love, our health, our mind. Okay, the ego is us, and it's not this demon. It's not this bad thing. We all have control of our ego. We've always had control of our ego, um, and it's not something that's gonna go away. You know, just because you say so, because you say that it's selfish, or it's not on the spiritual path, or it was created by you, for you. Whether you want to acknowledge that at this time on your spiritual journey or not, this is definitely the case. So I just want you guys to like kind of think about that a little bit, before we start judging ourselves and who we've been, where we've been, and what we've done. I believe the ego wants to be healed. It wants to get to know us. It wants to be integrated into our lives, our spiritual lives, our personal lives, our material lives, and it's seeking balance from us, from our spirit. But when we turn our back on our ego, of course it's gonna cause repercussions for our lives, and it can cause a bunch of issues, because it's like turning your back on the one person and the one thing that's always been there to protect you. um, and then we decide, hey, no, you're bad now. I'm on the spiritual journey. I don't need you anymore. I want to be a selfless person, and that is it. We're not here to be selfless. We're here to love ourselves, and integrate ourselves, and understand ourselves, and see our vision and journey in our mind, uh, that will help us transcend uh, our lives and into bliss. It is really the goal for, I think, everybody at some internal level. So just something to think about, everyone. I know there's a lot of ego talk and ego death talk, and demonizing your ego. So let's look at this again, everyone. Let's really look at what our ego is and who it is, and how we can integrate and give it the respect it deserves, so that it'll respect our beliefs, our views, and help us find the balance that we all seek on a daily basis. All right, it was nice talking to you guys. I hope to make a couple more videos about these kind of topics. Okay, feel free to comment if you have any questions or concerns, or you just want to talk. Thank you.